The techniques used for sending errors and throwing exceptions from a JSP are the same as the ones in a servlet. You can either call a method to have an error sent, or you can throw an exception. Here's a JSP page that will do either one depending on the parameter passed to it. Now, this method call, getParameter, returns the value of the named parameter. In this case, the parameter can either be send to indicate that a call should be made to send an error condition, or it can be throw to indicate that an exception will be thrown. If the parameter specifying the type of error was not included with the URL, then the string is null and no error is issued. If send is specified, then a call is made to the response method sendError to send the error condition. Now, this is the same method call that was made in the servlet in the previous example, and it uses the same error code number. The 401 error is handled by the same web.xml entry as previously. There is only one entry in that file for handling 401 errors. This is the option that throws an exception. The exception thrown is the number format exception. No particular reason for choosing that exception, but it is different from the one that was thrown before, so it will require a new entry in the web.xml file. I just added the new one to the bottom. You can see that a web.xml file continuously grows with an application. Here is the entry to handle the new exception. You can see that this error is fielded by the same general error handler servlet as before. The error handler could have been another JSP page or even a regular HTML page. That's all determined by the URL that you include in this tag. And here's the page. This is what the page looks like with no parameters passed to it. The page itself is displayed stating that no error was specified. Passing send parameter argument will cause error 401 to be issued. You can see that the general error handler is displayed, including the error number and the message that was sent with it. You can also see that this error did not originate with an exception, and it shows the URI of the originator. The servlet is listed as a JSP because the error came from a JSP, which in the end acts very much like a servlet when it's running. Using a different parameter causes an exception to be thrown. The same error handler page is used, but the information is a bit different. The number 500 shows up again as the catch-all code, and the text of the message from inside the exception appears. This time, the exception information shows up, and again, the JSP information is displayed. Now, there's no fundamental difference whether an error comes from a servlet or from a JSP. You can also use a JSP as an error handler by including the same code in it that you would include in a servlet.